What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Thursday, June 20th, 3:30 p.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica. We are an hour and a half, basically an hour and 40 minutes from first pitch on the 7 o'clock games, and we have a packed show for you guys today. We have Anna Merrick, Maximus in 3D, coming to break down this UFC card. And then we have Dave Mason from Bet Online making a return appearance to the show. We're going to talk NBA draft props, but we're also going to talk about how the finish in NBA and NHL, how the outcome with the Raptors winning and the St. Louis Blues winning affected his book. Also, I want to know, who is the early action? Are the Lakers taking a lot of action after the Anthony Davis trade? When Dave Mason joins us, we have so many questions on the inner workings of a sports book. I'm very, very excited to have him on the show. I'm excited about this show altogether. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Joe Rich Ramirez, Stephen Dollery, Poker Addicted 79. We got the bartender, my guy Harry Dubitsky, says what's good so far. 1-0 on the day. Cleveland, Texas. Under 9. Those of you who are on the unders, looking good. And I told you that Hoffman was going to have a good start. I was very, but I didn't bet it. Didn't have the balls. But I feel like we're going to get value backing him moving forward because of those hideous numbers from the early part of the season. We have JD in the house. It's been too long, Jay. Too long. Ty Clinton, Deer Slayer Ski, Flick My Bick. We got the fantastic Capper in the house. Anthony Mastronardi representing Windsor, Ontario, ready to get some work. Says, I need some winners today so I can save my gooch. Yes, a lot of gooch talk. Luca Di Stefano here. Also a Neil Frank on the first 5 under. That was gorgeous. Doug Barnhouse said US won, but the over did not. Yes, this is the first time we've seen the Taint play of the day in any kind of trouble. Ever. I believe this is the first time it's lost 3 straight. And now that it's lost 3 straight, I'm going to blindly back the Taint play of the day tomorrow. There's my guy, Canadian Capper. Another guy representing Windsor, Ontario. Says, what up, Jimmy? At the Motor City Casino, taking advantage of my free room. Chicken tenders for Detroit strippers tonight. And maybe some sausage for the local. Look at you, Canadian Capper. You are ready to party. We got Canadian Capper in the house. There's EJV. There's Nut Flush Allen. Lots to talk about in this Bumgarner start. And I've already made 2 bets. And I don't like making San Francisco Giants bets without conferring with our San Francisco Giants expert, Nut Flush Allen. But I did. Anthony Hollis said I took rocks, but I also took Indians. That'll happen, man. EJV also cashed that Cleveland under. Great job. Big Guy Bubba says, what up, Jimmy? Plus 15 units yesterday. Angels and Cubbies. How about let's do it again? I'm about to add the Cubbies. I don't know exactly why I didn't on the morning show, but I think that it's a very nice opportunity for a pitcher who's been in the dumps. And Chatwood signed that $38 million contract, expected to be a starter. I think this is a nice opportunity for him. And he's only had 1 start this year, and he stepped up in that start. I have a sneaky suspicion that he will be one of the 5 starters moving forward in the second half of the season. There's Astute Chaos ready to go. Lamont Williams. Goose is back, ready to go. There's our guy, Drew, from the SBR Forum. We have massive announcements in the next couple weeks, next few weeks. Huge announcements that I'm extremely excited about. The first announcement is coming tomorrow on the show, but big things at the SBR Forum in the contest situations that they have over there, and we're coming together like Voltron. I'm very excited. All right, Eric Jones, Joseph Gomez, we got Sean Glass. Lamont Williams says, but I'm chilling today, though. Okay, I hear that. All right, Drew Daddy. Poker Addicted 79 says, Giants are my dog of the day today. Jimmy Urias won't make it beyond the 5th, and that pen is fishy in the middle. Mad Bum likes beating LA. He certainly does. Jonathan Houston says, Twins over is more profitable than Bitcoin. My guy Jonathan says, big win with the under 3.5 USA Sweden. Jonathan going right up against Tate. Okay, we got to get to work. Tease ready to go. DJ 100 grand in the house says, I need the first 500 Colorado Rockies. Great job. Daryl Lyles, Gerardo Hernandez, Gerald Martinez, Avi Gold, A. Hilly ready to go. And yes, I'm fired up. I stayed out of danger on the early card, although it looks like it would have been okay. Ty Clinton says Aces -4 WNBA. You know, you've seen my very small sample size, 4-1 record so far in WNBA. And it's funny, I was hesitant to take the Mystics at 5.5, and I don't want them at 4. I'm not going to take the Aces at 4. At this point, I just don't feel comfortable. Jared Martinez saying, I like over 145 in the Mercury game. I'm going to copy and paste that. Thank you for sharing that. Guillermo said, Owendale running Saturday in the Ohio Derby. Yes, he is. And I will be backing Owendale in the Ohio Derby. Owendale will win the Ohio Derby. We are going to see Owendale in the Travers Stakes later on this year. That's how good of a horse Owendale is. I think he's a spectacular, spectacular horse. There's Daryl Lyles. I'll form the head. Respect Daryl Lyles. We form like Voltron. No, Wu-Tang ref that my guy Daryl knows. Okay. Von Burgess says Colorado scores again. Market move scaring me, disappointed. Okay, we got a lot to do. We have 2 guests coming on the show, and we have 10 games to go over. I know for certain that I'm adding 1 game. I don't want to spend too much time on the games I already have plays. We have the market moves. We have the opening lineups. Let's get to work. Here we go, pulling up the lineups right now. And let's start with this Astros-Yankees game. Now, I took the Astros first 5 at plus 137, and it's probably a mistake, and it's been a mistake. I lost 4 units fading the Yankees in their last series against the Rays and looked like a schmuck doing it. And look at that. Wow. I beat a 17-cent move on Houston first 5. If you want Houston first 5, you get them at plus 120. I got them at plus 137. Oh, that makes me feel very, very good. Let's take a look at what's gone on. Full game, money lines, and totals right now. I'm at sportsbookreview.com on the SBR odds page. Here we go. Astros, Yankees, Green, Valdez. Yankees opening up at minus 147. A 17-cent move towards the Astros. A 17-cent move towards them. And then, oh shoot, that was first half. My fault. First half, 17-cent move. Full game, not as much. Not even close. Just a 1-cent move. Wow, okay. 1-cent move. Total opens up at 9.5. It's now at 10. Let's take a lineup and see what you guys are eating in this game. Yankees confirmed lineup. LeMahieu, Voit, Sanchez, Stanton, Encarnacion, Torres, Gregorius, Maben, and Gardner. For the Astros, Bregman, Brantley, Altuve, Alvarez, Gurriel, Reddick, Chirinos, White, Marisnik. Ooh, that's nice. I'm going straight up. Oh, there's Maxwell Smart. There's our guy. Says, how do I miss you every Wednesday on Sports Cake, Jimmy? Well, hey, Max, I'm coming back to Toronto in like a month. So let's just hang in person, enjoy ourselves, have a few beverages. I know you like the bourbon. Let's go get some expensive bourbon. My guy, Maxwell Smart, in the house. But I do love being on the Sports Cake. Okay. Fantastic Capper says Yanks roll. Sean Glass says Yanks money line and Yankees under. My guy, Jorge Don't Play, says, I hope y'all cash Texas under and Bieber over K's with me. God, that Bieber over K was just very, very good work. Guys had double-digit Ks, 3 of the last 4? They hang at 6.5. Jorge Don't Play capitalizes. Bookie Lover Q says, I'm on the Yanks first 5. Wow. Viper NB says, my prison pocket is getting wrecked the past few days. We can fix that. There's my guy, Juan Ruiz. There's Hako Schofield. I knew he'd like it. If I was on his Astros, and he does. So what up, Jimmy? I'm on my Astros to come back with the hits tonight. But fantastic capper on Yankees run line. Ed Williams says Yankees game is going to play. Yes, I'm pretty certain that game is going to come. Canadian capper 2072 says, can I come? Yes, because it's not just going to be me. It's going to be Babano, Max Smart, Al Mack. Going to get the boys all together. Maybe Morency. We'll have to see where he is. Joe Garcia now says, what was Taint Play of the Day? Love you, Jimmy. Taint Play of the Day was the over 2.5 in Sweden, American. It lost. Nutflush Allen says, Jimmy, got to run into warehouse real quick. We'll be back for the Giants info. Thank you. Maxwell Smart says, that sounds like a national duty, Jimmy. You know I'm ditching softball to run with you. Well, we don't need to do it on a Wednesday. Let me know your baseball schedule. We haven't even set the day yet. Okay. And Jorge Don't Play says, I'm here for this. My guys, I'm here for this. God, I love Jorge Don't Play. Atlas Party said, Jimmy, I said Oakland reverse run line earlier at plus 190. Now A's a fave at plus 170. Nice work. And the bartender, our guy Harry, says no rain here in New York City. But Deerslayer says pouring on Long Island. Interesting. Okay. I'm on Houston first 5. No additions for me. Very comfortable where I stand. I know that Greens had when it was mentioned in the chat in the morning show, Green said back-to-back 2-inning opening sessions without allowing a run, but I do not trust him, and I do not trust the opening situation, the use of openers with this Yankees ball club. Okay, let's move on to the Phillies Nationals. This is a bet that I don't have. Pavetta Fetty. And the issue was the Phillies were taking, man, look at the Phillies money line now. Wow. So the Washington Nationals open at minus 140. They're now at minus 102. Unbelievable. 38-cent move towards the Phillies. Pavetta on the road, sure, I like it. Wow, Blumry says pouring, humid, and will stop. Okay. And saying it's pouring now in Nassau. Jasper says raining here Jas Bryce says raining here in Minneapolis, should be done by 7:30 for the Twins game. Thank you for letting us know. Fail to Life says crazy rain just passed in New York, now sunny, beautiful. Trey Hicks in the house. Okay. And the Sports Keg in the house. Had a great time on that show yesterday night. Okay. And Jesse Daly says Dome is closed in Toronto. That is what I expected because of the light rain. Phillies Nationals makes me uncomfortable. Pavetta playing better, but he struggled his whole career against the Nationals. He was drafted by the Nationals. Will that change? Top Set says I like the Nats full game. Now you have every right to like the Nats. Now you're getting even money on the Nats. The thing is, do you want to go up against a 40-cent line move? That's not an easy proposition. For the Phillies, Bryce Harper, the struggling Bryce Harper in the leadoff spot. Hoskins, Bruce, Realmuto, Segura, Kingery, Hernandez, Franco. For the Nats, Turner, Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Kendrick, Adams, Suzuki, Robles. Hako Schofield says stay away game. Anthony Hollis on Nats -1. Avi Gold says I'm tempted by the Nats. Yes, you should be tempted by the Nats. Topset says the Philly bullpen is crap. Do we want to go up against a 40-cent line move? And I don't. I don't want to, and I'm not going to. Although, if this line opened at this spot, I would take the Nats. But no, I don't want to. I don't want anything to do with it. Okay, let's move on to Angels, Jays. The Angels have been saving my record, and now I'm going back to the well. And you guys know, going back to the well is something that always scares me. It does not scare me here. Does not scare me here. Carlos Lewis says, make a daily show, Jimmy and Donnie. Thank you, Carlos. Well, we do have the Audible. The Audible is going to be back in action. Deer Slayer Ski says, I work at the OTB in Franklin Square sometimes. Oh, nice, Deer Slayer. Love my guy, Deer Slayer Ski. Okay. Viper and B says, Joe Anisi, Cubs -1, Angels -1. Indians wrecked my prison pocket earlier. Got to make it back. Do we have Joe Anisi? There's Joe Anisi. Nice. Joe, I was thinking about you last few days saying, where's our guy, Joe Anisi? There he is. Says, what's up? Haven't had time to cap. Who you liking tonight? Our guy, Joe Anisi. That's good. I was thinking about you. I was like, where's Joe? Where's Joe? And we have some exciting news coming up, Joe, about contests. Exciting news. Exciting news. Okay. Hot Coach Cofield says Angels run line. I'm on the Angels first 5 -0.5 -115 and -1.5 at +105. Maxwell Smart says CFL tonight, boys. Show me how to support local strippers. Oh, I love what I did in this game. I love what I did. Opens at 49.5, goes all the way down to 43.5, and I act. Now at Bet365 I had to get 44, but I act. And now it's 44s or 44.5s on the board. I'm on the over. I think there's going to be defensive scores. I think there's going to be short fields. Feel good about it. Joe Nisi said, what's good, Jimmy, being away with work. First time this week tuning in. Great to have you back, our guy. And Alex Ramirez, coming off an easy winner with the Cubs yesterday, is on the Brewers play of the day. Brewers play of the day. JD says, Nats now a +109. Wow. And there's our guy, DJ Big Boss, in the house, who you will see on our show tomorrow. The question is, where will he be coming from? Where will DJ Big Boss be coming from? And will it include Mando? Because that's Mando. Okay. Angels. I'm also on the first 5 over 5.5 -119. Let's see what we're dealing with right now in this Angel spot. So, wow, more money coming in on the Jays. More money coming in on the Jays. Wild. Wild. If I wanted the run line on the Angels right now, we got to look at these lineups. I could get +107 now. +107 to Pinnacle, and I got a -105. Wow, Clayton Richard. I bet you our guy, Ant L of the Sports Keg, is licking his chops, ready to fade Clayton Richard. Let's see what the first 5. So, money coming in on the Jays. Interesting. Let's see what the first 5 total is right now. We'll take a look at the first 5 total. I got it at 5.5 minus 119. You can get it at 5.5 and minus 115 at 5 dimes, but there's 6s on the board. 6s at Bookmaker, 6s at Bet Online. All right, let's see this lineup. Angels, Jays. For the Angels, Fletcher, Trout, Upton, Calhoun, Pujols, La Stella, Rengifo, Garneau, and Tovar. Not a nice looking back end of the lineup, and a big bat missing, and that big bat being Shohei Ohtani is not in the lineup. Shohei Ohtani is not in the lineup. Maybe he pinch hits in the big spot late. Toronto, Sogard, Guerrero Jr., Gurriel, Biggio, Hernandez, Grichuk, Tellez, Galvis, Maye. I'm not concerned. I am not concerned. Farshad Asami says Angels will kill Jays tonight again. Bled Stubby says, what is the Taint today? Taint's already played. It was Sweden, USA over 2.5. Coco Bongo in the house. Said, what's shaking Jimmy? Up in Peachland at the Racebook in Kelowna. Pretty nice. I have not been there. But man, I love that area of the world. As you guys know, I stayed all the time. But man, I went to the Okanagan Hockey School all my life. I worked there for the last 2 or 3 years and of attending. I worked there and just love that area so much. Penticton and Peachland and Kelowna, all that area, I just absolutely love. Okay. Sean Glass says minus 320, open Mom's Kitchen. Okay. That's where Sean Glass thinks DJ Big Boss will be coming to us from. And Don Reed says, I locked in Rockies first 5 at plus 160. God. I was the one who said Hoffman was going to have a good start, but I was afraid to take it. Got to go with that. Disappointing. And he's on Mets over 9, Oakland even. Got that line early and under 8 thanks to Noli Knows. Good work, Dom. That's a beautiful card. A beautiful card. And Ron Love says bummer first 5 over in Arizona, Colorado game loses. And Lance Rose says LA no problem. Okay, Top Golf says really missing King's Court. Could use King and money for the draft, not to mention WNBA. Well, we are going to have Dave Mason from Bet Online talking NBA draft. And I've got all of the Bet Online props here. So it's going to be fun. Going to be very, very fun. Okay. Yankee says I had Rockies minus 1.5. First 5. Live line of plus 330. Yanks guy. That is spectacular. Dom Reed says, yes, you did. I looked it up and took it. Thank you, Jim. Well, you know what, Dom? As long as some of us are cashing with it, makes me happy. And I got so much love for you, Dom. And I can't wait to party with you in Miami. Okay, so let's move on. That's my action on the Angels game. I'm not overly confident with Jose Suarez, but Clayton Richards looked terrible in his last 2 starts. He's looked better in Toronto. Maybe that will help him. Don Reach says, Jim, the well is our friend in MLB. Dion Davis says, hey, Jim, I work here at the ballpark in Summerlin, Las Vegas, AAA team. The Aviators take all the overs. Our guy, Dion Davis. I love that, Dion Davis. I love that. Love it. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that. Right below my guy, Gerald Martinez, telling us to take the over 145 in the Mercury game. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up on the docket is the Marlins-Cardinals game. Marlins-Cardinals. Nolino says he really liked the Tampa Bay Oakland under tonight. How is Tampa not exhausted? How is he not? I just thought, how are they not exhausted as a team? Yanks guy on the over 5.5 Ks with Odorizzi at minus 110. And Yellow Jesus say, I don't think people realize how hard it is to run a show and make great picks. Much respect to you, bro. You make it look easy. Well, I don't make the picks look easy. I don't make that, well, in baseball. But my love to you, Yellow Jesus, who blesses all our picks on a nightly basis. Here we go. Sports Keg giving us NBA prop bets. Okay. I like the Taco Fall to get drafted. I like that prop bet. Okay. Copy and paste. And I will drop that on Dave when he joins us. All right. I got it. I'm going a little too slow. Corey Simmons, the punch in the gooch play of the day. Mets Cubs over 9. A lot of people liking that play. I'm going to copy and paste that. MLB, great job. Just cash Rockies in first. Why was I not on that big plus line? Ridiculous. Yanks guy says take any under prop against Chris Davis. 3 for 19 lifetime against Morton. Watches that bats against him last time. Big whiffs against that Morton curve. Isn't that a gorgeous curveball? Yes. Okay. Bookie Lover Q says Jimmy Nelson will disappoint everyone. And there's our girl, Red Girl in the house. Red Girl. We planned a whole trip to Miami just to party with you. I can't wait to party with Red Girl in Miami. There's Red Girl. Sports Cake says, amen, Yellow Jesus, Jim. Oh, thank you very much for the kind words. And Ritino saying Mets over all day. A lot of people talking about it. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger on it with you guys. All right, let's talk about this spot here. This spot, where is it? Sorry. Here we go. Marlins, Cardinals. Zach Gallen coming up from AAA New Orleans. And Adam Wainwright's been so much better at home. Do we think Gallen's going to have a nice start here? That's the question. Let's take a look at what the lineups are. Here we go. Miami, St. Louis. Let's get this up right here. Here we go. Miami, St. Louis. For the Marlins, Rojas, Ramirez, Cooper, Anderson, Castro, Alfaro, Puelo, Riddle, and then Gallen. Let's see if I can refresh this and get the lineup for St. Louis. I can now. For St. Louis, Carpenter, DeYoung, Goldschmidt, Ozuna, Martinez, Molina, Wong, Bader. I want nothing to do with this this Cardinals team. Jorge Don't Play says, I'm on the Cardinals run line here. I get it. Joe Anise said, I'm taking the Marlins. There's no way I'm touching this Cardinals team with the way they've been playing of late. Red Girl says, I'm ready. We are ready as well. Oh, man. Big Boss. Parlay Poppy. Dom Ricci. Red Girl. Mr. Fat Fist. Just to name a few. Donnie Rightside. Mark Lawrence. Drew Martin. Oh, man. It's going to be nice. Okay. MLB says, how's this Miami kid pitching? He looks incredible, but it's AAA. In New Orleans, 9-1, 1.77 ERA, 0.71 whip, 91 in the third, 112 Ks, 17 walks. Yeah, this game makes me uncomfortable. I think I would expect the Cardinals to be patient and get all over them, but I don't want anything to do with them. Sean Glass is on the under, first 5. That's a very interesting look. Let's see what we get here. Let's get to this market here. Sorry, what's wrong with me? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. If we went on the first half total here, 4, opened at 4.5, but it was heavily juiced to minus 125 then. Now it's 4 plus the 100. I guess if I had to make a move, I would take it. There's my guy, Stat Guap, in the house. DJ Big Boss says, I'm excited. Don't forget to bring your mama and your mama's mama. Okay. Top Set says, take the Cards. Noli No says, keep riding the under in this Miami St. Louis series. I just want nothing to do with this game. So I'm just off of it. Dom Reach said, took the under 8 full game. I get it. Okay, Reds, Brewers, Rourke, Nelson. I trust neither of these pitchers. I took the first 5 over 5.5. If I wanted that right now, wow, there's even a 5 at Bookmaker. God, I'm down to 5, which is where it opened. I mean, Bet Online opened at 5.5 minus 125. That's not a good sign. I got over 5.5 at minus 106. So money moving towards the under. Makes me uncomfortable. Makes me uncomfortable. Farshad Asami says Cubbies over, Reds over, Nats under. I don't like when these line moves move against me like this. It is what it is. Makes me extremely uncomfortable. I'm not adding anything to this game. I don't trust either pitcher. Rourke in his last 3 starts, 0-3 with a 5 ERA. Nelson's looked horrible since he came back from shoulder surgery. Terrible numbers in his career, even when healthy against these Reds. Let's see what's happened on this money line full game. Here we go, full game. Here we go. Black Baller says Bumgarner will intentionally throw a pitch on a Dodgers player after what Muncy did to him. I wonder if he will. He may, though, Black Baller. But I wonder if he will. I think he just wants to get them out, strike them out. But we'll see. Here we go. In that spot here, Cincinnati, Milwaukee opening at minus 144. Now they're at minus 146. Interesting. A 2-cent move towards them. Andre Eric says Reds are streaking. Lance Rose says Reds are sneaky good. I'm comfortable with just that first 5 over 5.5. And Bookie Lover Q plus 100 benches clear in Giants game. Oh, I'm excited to watch it. Okay, now we go to Mets Cubs. Everybody on the over. And in the morning when I was coming up to work, guys in the chat I'm in grabbed it at 8.5, which was great work. Now there's a 9.5 on the board at Bookmaker. The Cubs in chat would open at minus 133. They're now at minus 151. I'm going to take the Cubbies on the minus 1 line in this contest. Cubbies on the minus 1 line. That's my first edition on this card. I'm getting a minus 151 at Bet Online. Here we go. Cubs on the minus 1. The money line is minus 151. and the -1.5. Viper MB says Bruins are unbackable. Viper MB is on Cubs -1. I like that. JEM says, Jimmy, you need some weed to calm down a bit. So stressed, buddy. Hopefully Miami trip will de-stress you. JEM, I'm still dealing with these lung problems. So you've seen an extremely sober Jimmy for 6 months. An extremely sober Jimmy for 6 months. And I miss it. I talk too much sober. Okay. Cubs. Let's see what we're doing here. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, no. Okay, let me move this. Let me just get this off. Sorry, I have a little problem there. Oh, no. God, I hate this. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Okay. The Cubs on the -1 line. Let's go. Or, sorry, -1.5. Let's see what I'm getting here. Point spreads, full game. Oh, this is annoying. I'm getting +130. And I'll take it at 5 times. -1.5, +130. I feel like the Mets have an advantage first 5. I really do. I think that Chatwood's going to have a nice start here. Let me just see what I'd get on the first half with the Cubs. And here we go. Cubs first half, -0.5, -105. I'm taking it. -105 at 5 times. I'm taking Cubs first 5, -0.5, -105. I think they're going to be patient. Thank you to all of you who are smoking in my honor. And Black Box says to me, I feel you. I've lung problems for 2 or 3 weeks now. Yeah, it's been awful. Awful. All right. Okay. And Navigold says, anyone like the over 9? Everybody does. Everybody's been on it all day. I just have a sneaking suspicion that I would prefer the Cubs team total over rather. I think that Chatwood's going to have a nice start here. Okay. Twins, Royals, Odorizzi, Sparkman. I saw Dave LA backing these Royals. I found that extremely interesting. Let's see what we get. Oh, there, I fixed it. Okay, beautiful. Let's see what we're getting. Odorizzi. Oh, and we didn't go over the lineups. That was my fault. Let's quickly go over the lineups in that Cubs-Mets spot. For the Mets, McNeil, Alonso, Cano, Conforto, Frazier, Ramos, Rosario, Gomez. And for the Cubbies, Schwarber, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, Hayward, Gonzalez, Chatwood, Descalso, turning the lineup over. And for the Reds, Milwaukee. For the Reds, Winker, Votto, Suarez, Dietrich, Senzel, Puig, Iglesias, Barnhart. For the Brewers, Kane, Yelich, Braun, Moustakas, Grandal, Thames, Shaw, Arcia. All right. I like it. And, I found it very interesting that Dave L.A. wants to fade Odorizzi right now. Sparkman's been better than I expected him to be. The Twins have lost 3 of 4. They're showing a sign of regression. And they're still smashing righties and lefties. Righties, 263, 838 OPS. These pitchers met last Saturday in Minnesota. Twins won 5-4. Odorizzi did not look very good. Allowed home runs to Whit Merrifield and Soler. The Minnesota's won 11 consecutive games started by Odorizzi. I'm very comfortable not making a move here. And look at MLB. I'm all over KC. Yes, you should, Noli, my guy. Yes, you should. All right. And Dominic said, you guys do know Mets fired their pitching and bench coach again, right? Yeah, I just know it from reading your tweet and you disliking it. Dom, that's who I get my Mets information from, is Dom Ricci. Okay. Well, we're going to be joined in 6 minutes by Anna Merrick to talk UFC, and then we're going to be joined by Dave Mason to talk NBA draft props and to get an idea of how they fared in the NHL and NBA finals. There's Muhammad Joma. Oh, man, it's been too long. And Muhammad Joma back in the Twins run line. There's Christopher Smith. And there is Mr. Fatfist. Says, hey, guys, the Clint Dew's UFC breakdown. You are just in time, Mr. Fatfist. We will be doing that in 6 minutes. All right, and DJ 100 grand on the under 5.5 first half in that Minnesota game. Yeah, I'm just comfortable being off of it. Okay, here's the Rays Athletics game where a lot of people are liking the over. There's our guy Dave Paddock in the house. Farshad Asami says Royals are hot. Okay, let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with here in this Rays-A's spot. First off, let's take a look at these lineups. Can we take a look at these lineups? No, we can't. So no more lineups for the last 3 games. So let's put that away. Rays, A's. Open at 8, now 7.5. Still slightly juiced to the over at some books. Some are a pick 'em. The A's open to -105. They're now at -117. Morton, Montas. Morton just, let's see what these guys' numbers are against the opposition. Maybe that'll be a nice little thing if we're going to make a move on this under. And the unders are a little tricky at this low a number, but we know Noli has no fear in that situation, and I respect that very, very much. Here we go towards the unders in the Rays A's against Morton. 250 average, 424 slugging, 779 OPS. It's not too bad. Against Montas, oh yeah, 6 at-bats. We talked about that in the morning. Very small sample size. Rays, A's, that first 5 under, says Sean Glass. You know, I like it. But let's take another look at it. Here we go. First half, totals. We know that Tampa's a tired group. I mean, Dave L.A. was saying back the Rays, and I just feel like they're a tired group. Wow, 5 times moves down to 3.5 already. So is Heritage. All right. I'll take the under 4. First 5, under 4 at minus 118. First 5, under 4, minus 118. My third addition on this card. Okay. But he just saw Morton. I'm sorry, they just saw Morton, but they struggled against him. Doug Barnhouse also on the over. Okay. Or Scott on the under. Okay. A's M moneyline best bet. Morton's just so good. Okay. Let's move on. We have 3 minutes till we're joined by our guy, Anna Merrick, to break down this UFC card. And then we are also very close to having Dave Mason join us. He'll be here in 18 minutes. I'm very excited to have Dave Mason back on the show. Noli Knows says, never have fear. They're doing the work for you, telling you it's going to be low scoring. Bookie Lover Q says, Oakland already spanked Tampa. Now Tampa flies from New York to Cali, and the funk is gone. Watching Morton last 3 games, he's had a lot of traffic on base. I don't know, but I'll stay off. Interesting. Dave Paddock says, am I crazy to think San Francisco wins outright tonight? Look, I'm backing San Francisco, but just first 5. First 5 plus a half at plus 110, and the first 5 under 4 at minus 110. Let's see if I wanted that first 5 right now. If I wanted that first 5 plus a half with Bummy, let's see what I would get now. I would get, still plus 110s on the board. Anybody can get that if they want it. Anybody can get it. Z Mike here says Chicago -1, Yankees -1, Angels -1. Reminds me of Ralph Portwando's card yesterday that cashed very easily. So that's my action with the Giants. First 5 plus a half and first 5 under 4. And then Orioles Mariners. Orioles Mariners, we know that it's going to be Scott starting. So it's going to be a day of openers. And I got to like the Orioles here. Now, the Orioles aren't going to have Mancini, but I still like them. But without Mancini, their lineup is so soft. Maybe it's an easy team to bat against. They are going to get Dwight Smith Jr. He's expected to come back from his concussion. But Mancini is the straw that stirs the drink. Home run Arizona. Wow, says Drew Daddy. Boogie Lover Q says they didn't struggle. Jimmy, I watched that game. Morton has been missing his spots, and Oakland already won that previous game. Okay. Wow, 3-3 in Colorado, Arizona. Walker. Wow. Eric Jones on the Aces, under 156. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I don't know. Andre Eric says betting on the Orioles. I would like to bet on them. I would, but I'm not going to do it without Mancini in the lineup, I don't think. I'll have to see those lineups and then make a decision on it. Let's go to the WNBA. Do we want to make a move here? Let's go to full game spreads and totals. I saw that King Rail and J Money are on the first half Mercury at -3. The bigs for the Mercury are going to dominate down low. Just dominate this game. And I know we're talking about how they're still missing Tarasi, but Dewana Bonner and Brittany Griner are just going to eat. They're just going to eat. Dallas has stepped up. They got their first win, but I think they're in big, big trouble. And Sean Glass on Seattle money line. Corey Simmons says, what all the picks you got? I'll go over them in a second, right before we bring in our guy, Anna Merrick. Gerald Martinez says, I like the Mercury to get what they want offensively and the Wings to do just enough on offense against the Mercury D that hasn't been great. Number is too low at 145 to me. I agree. There's going to be a lot of second half points, second half buckets. Second chance points, second chance buckets. Yeah, I'm not scared of that over. Low over at 145.5. I don't mind that at all. And I don't mind that first half play that the guys are on. I think that's a great look. And there's no threes anymore. I still think it's a good look. Wow, Corey Simmons. Atlanta trades for the number 4 pick. Breaking news. And Jorge just says, I just want to say I love all of you. What a guy Jorge is. Jorge, don't play. Andre Eric says, I love me some me. Hey, man, do it. And big guy, or non-applicable says, Aces shit to bed. Okay, I've got to make a decision here. I'm leaning towards backing the Mercury early. And I'm going to. I'm going to take the Mercury first half minus 3.5. I'm getting a minus 113 at Pinnacle. Here we go. Mercury. And this is pretty much mixing just part of my capping, but really trusting Jay and King. So I'm going to do it first half minus 3.5 at minus 113. They got 3. And I'm going to go with Gerald on the over. Or Gerard, sorry. Gerald Martinez, excuse me. I'm going to go with Gerald Martinez on the over 145. I think he's got a nice look there. All right. Taking the over in the Mercury Wings game. Full game. Oh, there's King Rail. There he is right there. Says, what up, everyone? Mercury's my max bets. First half minus 3 and full game minus 6. Wings have too many injuries. If you like the over, you expect Mercury to put up 80. Interesting. I think the Mercury are just going to be able to eat so many second half points. King Rail back in action. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna take the over. I'm going to take the over 145.5. Okay, I've got to get to my guy Anna Merrick right now. I'm going to jump on the over here. Over 145.5. Over 145.5. I'm going to stay off of this Mystics Aces game. That might be a mistake. There's our guy, for show 94 in the house. Heinous and liking the under in the Vegas game. Bookie Lover Q says Dallas won't score. And Isaac Hagen saying Hunter going to Atlanta. All right. Minus 3.5 is at Dave's book. Dave Paddocks, I'm on. Okay, I'm going to stay off the Mystics Aces game. I still don't know what we're getting with the Aces. So I'm going to stay off of it. And as you guys know, I'm on the over 43.5 in the Rough Riders Red Blacks game. I really like this spot. There's 44.5s now, except for Bet Online. So it's gone up a point since it opened. 49.5 went down to 43.5 and up to 44.5, and I like it a lot. All right. Let's go. And let's bring in our guy breaking down UFC. We have Anna Merrick back in action. We just love having you on our show. Anna Merrick, my guy, how you doing this evening?
Jimmy, doing great. Glad to be back on the show, man. It's always fun to come on. Saw the first episode of The Audible, and I got to tell you, it made my giblets wiggle. I'm ready for football, baby.
Oh, man. We're pumped. We're so pumped. We're so pumped, dude. It's just a real fun. The fact that we got the last year to work together and learn about, cap the cappers, and now getting a second year and starting this early, I just think we're going to be ready and rolling. Dwayne Reed says, take the Mystic and the points. I should have got it at 5.5, and I didn't. So I'm going to stick with just my action here. And King Rail, honestly, leaning aces. Okay, so Clint, can you set the stage for us? Where are we? UFC this weekend.
The UFC is headed to Greensville, South Carolina. And I got to tell you, South Carolina is mostly known for the first battle of the Civil War taking place. And they're the United States leading producer of peaches. Besides that, nothing else happened there. This card is complete shit. And if we weren't degenerate bettors that were going to gamble on it, we wouldn't give a fuck either.
I love it. I love it. It sounds very good to me. Sounds very good to me. All right, let's get to work. And let's start with the Alan Crowder fight here. Alan Crowder against a name that I will butcher, Rosenstruck. There we go. Alan Crowder up against Rosenstruck. Rosenstruck, a big favorite, but money coming in on Crowder. So Alan Crowder opening up plus 195 at Bet Online. Now plus 185, a 10-cent move towards Crowder. What do you see happens here?
We've got a theme running on this card. Since it's not a big profile card, there aren't those big, huge names on it. There's not going to be a whole lot of public money. So a lot of these lines are going to be a lot wider than they really should be. But more often than not, I agree with the favorites being the favorites. This is a perfect case. Alan Crowder, he's absolute garbage. He's been KO'd badly 4 times by UFC caliber guys and some that are not UFC caliber. They used him to springboard guys like Greg Hardy in their career going in the UFC. They're doing the same thing here. They're feeding him to Rosenstruck, who is a legitimate high-level striker with the deft touch in both of his hands and both of his feet. I have got Rosenstruck inside the distance. I'm happy to hear there's money coming in on Crowder because that's going to drop the line for us a little bit. I want to say I got minus 142 on inside the distance for Rosenstruck. So if you guys want to play him straight or parlay him, I do think that's a good choice. I think he probably puts Crowder away in the second round.
Rosenstruck inside the distance at minus 142 is our guy and Americ's first action. Now, let's move on to another spot here, the Kevin Holland fight. So Kevin Holland, again, another big favorite at minus 265 and a ton of money coming in on the underdog. Holland opens up at minus 265 at BetOnline, now at minus 212. Minus 212. That is a 53-cent move towards the dog. What do you like here?
This is one where I agree with the money. I'm going to take a shot on the dog, Alessio Di Chirico, as well. I got him at plus 185, and I think this is a spot where the big star, the big athletic young kid, he might just slip up a little too much. Holland really likes to goof around in the cage. He likes to get in there and do whatever he wants. He gives up bad positions because he's just confident that his athleticism is going to pull him right on through it. Alessio Di Chirico is a well-rounded up-and-coming fighter who's taken a full year off, not because of injury, but to sharpen his skills. So Holland has been super active, which means he's probably not improving in his raw skill set, you know, the basic levels of the things that he's got to improve on to really excel in MMA. Whereas Di Chirico took some time away from the cage to make sure that he is prepared moving forward. I think that he's going to be the more improved fighter out of the two. And I think this one's way closer than the line should indicate just because of the way that Holland goofs off. I hope he accepts bottom. I hope Chirico can get on top of him and land some ground and pound, take him down and steal a couple of rounds. This one's going to get hairy. And if it's a split decision, I want the dog.
I like it. I like it. So there's our first dog. Di Chirico, picked up by our guy and America at plus 185. And the books are all over the place with this fight. Pinnacle at plus 190 for Chirico. 5 Dimes at 195. Bookmaker at plus 174. Intertops at plus 175. Heritage at plus 195. UWager at plus 195. Very, very, very interesting. And you have 2 parlays. 2 parlays, and I know this excites our low baggers very, very much. 2 parlays. One's 1 unit, and one is a 2-unit parlay. Why don't we start with the 1-unit parlay, and Americ? Why don't you lead us through that?
Okay, so the strategy here is like I talked about at the head of this thing. I agree with the favorites being the favorites. The lines are too wide. I want to play all 3 of these fighters, but if we did that, we'd be laying somewhere in the ballpark of 7 units, 8 units, because of how big of favorites they are. So we're going to string them together, and we're going to get a plus 168, plus 170 parlay out of these 3 favorites. Risk and reward, we're only going to risk the 1 unit, and if one of them shits the bed, we're only down 1 unit instead of being down 4 or 5 if 1 or 2 of them shit the bed. I think it's a good way for us to have some action on the card, get a nice plus line, and it should come through. We're going to tie together this kid, Darren Wynn. Now, a lot of you might know the 2-time UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier. This guy is his mini-me. He trains at the same gym. He's DC's protege, and he looks like you hit DC with a shrink ray. I mean, he has the same exact pedigree. He's a phenomenal high-level college wrestler who's getting into mixed martial arts and has dynamite for hands. The one person in this world that's going to be able to train him to be able to fight is Daniel Cormier, because that's exactly what he is, and that's exactly what he does. So I am all over this kid. I'm super high on him. His opponent is a non-UFC or a former UFC fighter that couldn't hack it and got cut. He's coming in on short notice to replace the fighter that Wynn was supposed to face. I've got Wynn all over here. Now, he's sitting at about minus 280. Like I said, I think he wins. Line's too wide. I'm going to go with Andrea KGB Lee. This girl is a monster. She's cute. The UFC loves her. They're going to push her, and she is improving at a rapid rate. Same exact situation. She's sitting over there at about minus 225, minus 230, because everyone can see the writing on the wall. She's the far better striker. Her opponent is a wrestler, and KGB is able to get back to her feet. She might give up the takedown, but she damn near always gets right back up and then lands some fists on her opponent's face. I think she wins this one by decision. We're going to move on to my boy Barberena. This guy is an absolute animal. He's willing to take a punch to give a punch, and when he gives that punch, you usually die. So he's facing maybe one of the worst IQ fighters in Curtis Millender. This guy just can't seem to put it together, and he's coming off of a really, really bad knockout loss. I think his chin is suspect, and Barberena's got dynamite in his hands. I think the first round might get a little bit sketchy. I think Millender tries to take Barberena down. Barberena went a full 15 minutes with the UFC's the interim belt holder Colby Covington, who's a phenomenally high-level wrestler. And Barberena was able to stuff some of those takedowns and didn't really take a whole lot of damage once he got taken down. So Millender's not going to have the type of wrestling that he's going to need to put a guy like Barberena on his back for a full 15 minutes. I think Barberena finishes this one inside the distance too, as soon as Millender gasses out and he realizes he can't hold him down. So we've got three favorites. We're going to parlay them together, risk one unit for plus 170.
Wow, very interesting. And drawn win, there's been a huge move to Bruno Silva. There's been, at Bet Online, there has been an 80-cent move.
Silva dropped.
80-cent move. Wow.
Silva's not the guy he's fighting anymore. He's facing Eric Spicely now.
Oh.
A lot of people were high on Bruno Silva, but he's not the one that's in there anymore.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. And then your KGB, Andrea Lee, has been sitting around the same spot, open to minus 200, now minus 205. And then Barberena, a huge move on Barberena at this point. Well, the 30-cent move. So we've seen bigger. Bigger at Bookmaker, though, a 50-cent move there. Barberena taking a ton of money. That is the first spot there. I like it. There is our first parlay from our guy, An America. Now comes the big boy parlay. This is a 2-unit parlay. And walk us through this one.
We're going to the co-main and the main event of the evening on this parlay. My boy John Lineker has been screaming at his boss Dana White for a fight. For whatever reason, nobody wants to fight this guy. And I'll tell you why. It's because he's a tank and he throws heat. Nobody wants to fight this kid. He's got a tattoo of fire all up and down his left arm, and that's because he uses it to cripple people to the body and to the head. It's his money maker. Now, he's getting thrown in here. It's a rematch with this guy, Rob Font. Rob Font is a decent fighter. He's got really good boxing. He's really technical. I do like Rob Font. I'm a fan. However, Lineker is a short notice replacement when Rob Font lost his opponent. Neither of them could get a fight, and Lineker's been screaming for one. So Rob is getting the short end of the stick because this is a rematch that he never wanted. Lineker basically can't be taken down because he's the smallest guy in the division. He uses these wild winging hooks to corral his opponent exactly where he wants them, and then he explodes, closes the distance, and lands overhands that knock his opponent's teeth out. I love John Lineker here. He's sitting minus 200 somewhere in that ballpark. And with this being a rematch, he's actually the younger of the two fighters. And in my opinion, he's the more well-rounded of the two fighters. He should have the more experience gained from that first match. And I think he handles the second one maybe even more than he did the first one. They went to a unanimous decision last time. I think he might end this one after having felt everything that Rob Font has to offer. He knows he can take it. He knows he can overcome it. And Rob Font wanted nothing to do with the power in their first fight. So I've got John Lineker here. I think he KOs Rob Font. In the main event, we're going to go to Hanato Moicano. He's facing Chan Sung Jun, who is the Korean Zombie and an absolute fan favorite. The Korean Zombie is a guy that I've been super high on. He's a real brawler. Those are the only two fights that are like super interesting as far as a public perspective goes. These are the two that is going to draw in some kind of a crowd to watch this card. The Korean Zombie is never in a boring fight. He was in a fight of the year candidate back in November against Yair Rodriguez, where they basically scrapped bell to bell for a full 25 minutes. And then in the last 10 seconds of the fight, He went for the finish, and Yair caught him with the craziest up elbow I have ever seen. Go YouTube it. It's phenomenal. But Korean Zombie got flatlined. He was more than likely going to win that fight if it went to the judges, and instead he took one of the hardest KO knockouts I've ever seen. He's been gone since then. This is his first fight back. You've got to wonder what kind of chin he's got on him after taking that kind of a shot. Is his confidence shot? Is he going to be the same fighter in there after that? Moicano is also coming off of a loss, but that was to the legend Jose Aldo. The referee saved him on that one. It wasn't a clean knockout. He didn't get disconnected from his senses, so it's not the kind of knockout that's going to leave you damaged for the rest of your career. I think he's going to grow and learn from that first time under the bright lights, that first big step up in competition against a legend who he respects, who he grew up watching, and he's going to come back a better fighter in this spot. I think Moicano controls this thing from start to finish. He's also got the wrestling advantage here that if it does hit the ground, he'll likely be on top and he'll likely be the one who's safe. He utilizes leg kicks really well. I think he's going to outmaneuver the Korean Zombie and work his way to a 5-round decision. We're going to parlay those two favorites together. It gives us just over even money, about plus 120 or so. And I'm dropping 2 units on that thing because I'm more than confident in both of those fighters. I really think that parlay comes through.
Oh, I like it. I like it. There is Anna Merrick's action. Rosenstruck inside the distance. D. Chirico at plus 185. That's his big dog on the card. And then the first parlay, Win, KGB, Barbarena around plus 170. And then the parlay for 2 units, Lineker, Moicano. And you'll get that around plus 120. Absolutely great work, Anna Merrick. Where can we find you on Twitter, and tell us more about your podcast?
I am at Maximus3D on Twitter, or if you want further, more in-depth breakdowns where I have a little bit of fun, head over to at Diehard MMA Pod, which is the Twitter for all my strictly MMA-related stuff. And the Diehard MMA Podcast is where I get in there and I bring all of the UFC action to you all. Things are going good. We're sitting up about 27 units since the beginning of 2019 when I started the podcast. We have a lot of fun, and come on, hang out.
I love it. There's our guy, Anna Merrick. Thank you so much for joining us, breaking down the UFC Greenville card right there, right now. I love it. Okay, let's move on. We have the NBA draft coming up tonight. We've had a huge trade that just happened, which is changing markets as we speak. And we have the perfect guy to be joining us right now. Please welcome to the show from Bet Online, making another appearance here on Betting with the Bag. We loved the first time he came on, and he's back. Dave Mason. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped, and there's a lot of talk right now with this big Atlanta Hawks trade. So I've got these. Let's just talk about this right away. I've got all the props up from Bet Online, and you had this DeAndre Hunter over 5.5, under 5.5. So if you wanted it earlier in the day, you could have got under 5.5 at plus 110. And now that the trade has happened, let's refresh, because this was before the trade happened. Let's see what's going on now. Oh, can we get it? So sorry.
Boy, I think that one just went down temporarily. So because of that, probably these draft props before the draft, like trades start coming in, so these guys are quick on the trigger to take them up, take them down. So that looks like one of them.
Yeah, I get it. Let me know a little bit about the difficulties. Well, first off, how does the handle of the NBA draft compare to the handle of the NFL draft?
Probably 6th, 7th, and 8th of it. Not even close. NFL is king. Not even close. NFL is it's a lot bigger. I mean, maybe 10 times bigger than the NBA draft. Doesn't mean we don't get a lot of action on the NBA draft, but the NFL draft is without a doubt king.
And we talked about the difficulties involved in this, and we just saw one happen right before our eyes. The difficulty here. This DeAndre Hunter was hanging at plus 110, and if anybody hammered it, if anybody had inside knowledge about this trade going on, they're going to cash big on it.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's part of, I think we talked about that NFL draft. It's just such a challenge for the guys, and that's why the limits aren't that high. It's these rumors come in, and there's just so much research you can do on what team is having what player in there. And there's only, we only got so many guys working on the stage, and if you had 40 guys and you could sign, 3 guys and all they did was the NBA draft, we could knock it out of the park. But it's just not a reality. So yeah, the rumors come in. The mock drafts, this rumor, that rumor, and they're pretty hard to manage.
So how did the NFL draft end up for you guys? Was that a profitable venture this year?
Negative. No, we finished in the red a little bit. Wasn't too bad, but the players definitely, the win went to the players.
What is the most popular bet in the NBA draft right now?
Our biggest exposures, Nasir Little to be drafted for Romeo Langford. That's up to -400. Taco Fall gets drafted. That opened as a dog, and he's up to -180. Favorite to get drafted. Under 5.5 juniors in round 1. 5th pick, Kobe White, and Kobe White under 7.5. So that went all the way up to $9,600.
Wow. Wild stuff. I have more questions about the draft, but I don't have you for long enough. And I have some other questions, and then I'll come back to the draft. And this is being on everyone's mind, how did my Raptors winning the NBA championship, was that a good thing for you, or would you have preferred the Warriors?
Nah, definitely the Raptors. From a future standpoint, both were big winners. I don't want to talk about NHL because NHL was the opposite. But from the NBA, both for futures are both a big winner, but Raptors was bigger, so that was nice. The huge sweat was a series price. People were taking that Golden State Warriors odds at plus money when they went down, and so we needed the Raptors big time. So yeah, we won a futures big and a series price big, and the games, here there, but we won decent on the games as well. So your Raptors winning it all was definitely good for Bet Online.
Wow. And then the Blues, we saw that the dude from St. Louis with the $400 ticket that paid out $100,000. Did you have much action on them when they were last in the NHL?
A few, anything close to that. But you always get those lottery ticket kind of bets. Our biggest exposure on MLB, for God's sakes, is the Orioles. So I mean, there's always people taking shots at those 1,000 to 1, 500 to 1, 200 to 1, whatever it is. It doesn't take many $2, $5 bets. These people, trying to get these lottery tickets for us to get a big red number. But so we had a few, but the Blues and the Bruins, neither of them were a good future result for us, and the big part of that was because of that big number on the Blues earlier on this season. Going into the playoffs, from a future standpoint, we are only in the red on 2 teams. All the other teams, we were in the black, a profit for our futures, and those 2 teams just happened to make the finals. So bit of bad luck for us, but the series price for us was good. We got a lot of that futures money back in the series price, but you add them both together, and it was pretty much a break even.
Wow, that's wild stuff. And we have some questions coming in. Ramon Scott says, what menu is the NBA draft props located under in Bet Online? And as soon as I refreshed it, I couldn't find it. So did it come down for a second?
I think it did come down for a second. I'm chasing the guys right now to get it back up. It should be under futures, then NBA draft.
Yeah, I had it up all day. I had it up all day, but I guess the massive cash coming in once that trade went down was an issue there. So Ramon Scott, I'm sure it's going to be back up any minute. We'll let you know when that is. Okay, I have a couple more questions. I heard that the books loved all the money that came in, obviously, on Kevin Durant to win MVP. I heard some books where, that was just getting hammered because it was like a lottery ticket, anywhere from 14 to 1 to 25 to 1. Was there a lot of money on Kevin Durant to win MVP with you guys?
Yes, there was. That was a popular bet once it came out that he was coming back. Without a doubt, people just thought he's going to come back and they were going to, do their thing and lift another trophy, and he was going to be the main reason for it. So that was definitely good for us, and it limited the Kawhi number a bit, and it was a good win for the house, the MVP odds.
So the big Anthony Davis trade. I couldn't, before the Davis trade, I couldn't believe that the Lakers would be the favorite to win the NBA championship. And then they have the trade. I hear you guys have the Lakers here at plus 350 to win the championship. Is most like of any of these teams to win the 2019-2020 championship, where's the money going? Is it mostly on the Lakers?
Yeah. After we opened the odds up, we opened them at plus 700, which is kind of high compared to the competition. And then when that trade went down, the odds plummeted to plus 350. And in the first couple of days before that move, I think it's 2 days before that move, the Lakers were the top bet at plus 700, and they still are the top bet, and followed by the Clippers and the 76ers. Those are the most popular bets to win it all next year.
Yeah, and the Clippers would be these guys making a bet that Kawhi is going to go over to the Clippers, and I mean, all of us up north are just praying that that's not going to happen. I've seen the Warriors all over the place. You're giving the Lakers at a better number still than a lot of books. I just saw a book giving it at plus 275. You have them at plus 350. You have the Raptors at plus 700 and the Warriors at plus 1,000. My guess is that because at that price, I think the Warriors have value. I wonder if the Warriors get pounded moving forward. I guess we got to see the free agents and the signings, and I guess that's where all of the money starts coming in. So let's go back to the draft. What is the most popular spot? Like, what is regularly or on this card? What's the most popular bet?
The most popular bet, I mean, Taco Fall gets drafted. That got hit early, and then people kept hitting it. He was open to dog to get drafted, and now he's a favorite to get drafted, and people kept on hitting it. So that's one of the most popular ones. There's so much lopsided stuff here. That's without a doubt the most lopsided, though.
I'm a big CFL guy, and we have guys in the chat right now who are just doing so successful in WNBA. Wouldn't mind talking about some of these markets for a little bit. How do you compare what's a comparison to one CFL game like tonight's Thursday night action?
To what? The WNBA or anything?
Yeah, or to anything.
We get action on it, but it's not, it's what could I compare it to? I mean, the NBA draft tonight will do more action than the CFL game. A lower level soccer game, I guess, mid-level soccer game, probably. Nothing like Champions League or the World Cup or anything like that. But, maybe one of the lower women's World Cup games that, the two teams not named U.S. or any of the other top teams. Interesting.
And then for WNBA, so tonight there's two WNBA games and one CFL game. Where will there be a bigger handle?
WNBA. WNBA.
Wow.
Probably about twice as much on the WNBA as CFL.
Interesting. WNBA getting more. And then let's go. So we have the NFL draft at almost 10 times the NBA draft. And then what's the NBA draft compared to the NHL draft?
Oh, geez. Probably 10 times, probably even more, actually. We haven't really done too much NHL draft stuff. We did limited last year, and there's a decent response, so we put up more today for the NHL draft. So I don't want to give you – I'm just going to guesstimate there probably 10 to 15 times more. We'll see. I can get back to on that one.
I love this. I love what you got with the NHL draft. Number of trades on day one of the draft, 7.5, and that's minus 20 each way. A number of defensemen drafted in the first round, 9.5. Number of forwards, 21.5. Number of goalies drafted, and 1. And that's a perfect bet where if you do a lot of study, I know you can find an edge there. OHL players drafted. Who's going to be drafted third overall? Quebec Major Junior players drafted. So, I know a lot of guys who specialize in either the Western Hockey League or the Ontario Hockey League or Quebec Major Junior, and then you could really find an edge here. Over 2.5 players, Quebec Major Junior drafted at plus 120. And here we have drafted third overall. In the draft third overall, you have Turcotte at minus 180. And then you have a guy whom I'm just madly in love with, Bowen Byram, who I think is a monster at plus 180. I think there's a ton of value on Bowen Byron to be drafted 3rd overall at plus 180, the second-ranked North American skater. That is very, very, very exciting stuff. And so could we do this? So the 3rd week, we're planning on having a big betting with the bag in Miami, and we're going to be at the Buccaneers Dolphins Thursday nighter. And give me like for an exhibition game like that we're going to be at Thursday nighter. Is that close to a like a Mountain West college game? Is that a comparison for a handle?
A little bit more, probably. Yeah, a little bit more.
A little bit
Hey,
more.
it depends. It all depends, man. The channels it's on and what else is on at the same time. But all that stuff factors into it. What channel is it on? National TV, etc. What time's it on? What else is on at the same time, etc., etc., etc. So, but yeah, that sounds about right. Probably a little bit more.
Oh man, I absolutely love this stuff. And and you're getting a lot of action on the Women's World Cup right now?
Yeah, especially the USA games are, that exceeds any action on anything, especially now that the odds are a little bit more, people have problem. Everybody wants to bet USA, of course, but they have a problem laying the minus a gazillion or whatever the hell it was versus Thailand. But today, we got beat up because the odds were a little bit more close to even, and not close, but a lot closer than they were for the previous games. So people were on USA today, and we got beat up a little bit.
Yeah, I get it, man. This is so exciting. And if you guys are looking for more incredibly cool props for NBA at BetOnline, you have Brandon Ingram points per game, 16.5. You have Brandon Ingram rebounds per game at 5.5. That's wild. Chris Paul.
And tomorrow we'll have. Yeah, tomorrow. Sorry to cut you off. Tomorrow we'll have some of the stats for some of the rookies, Zion Williamson, points per games, all that good stuff. So check back tomorrow. We'll have a bunch of stat props on them for the rookie year.
Oh, I love that. And you have Lonzo Ball assists and points a game. Lonzo Ball assists are at 6 and points per game at 11. What a fun bet. And then Anthony Davis for the season, points per game, 26.5, rebounds a game, 11.5. So cool. So cool having you here. Thank you so much for joining Betting with the Bag. We have Dave Mason from BetOnline. Is there anything going on at BetOnline that you want us to know about? Any promos, anything that you want us to know about?
Yeah, until the end of June, we got a special offer for Bitcoin depositors. We're going to give you deposit with Bitcoin, and we're going to give you 5% above the market rate. So that's pretty much you're going to make an extra 5% on top of your deposit. That's cash right into your account.
Beautiful. Cash right into your account. Dave Jr. Smile says, great caller with great info. There's our guy, Dave Mason. Dave, thank you so much for joining us. We need to have you back more often because we just have so many questions about the market, and we get to learn so much from your side of things. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. Hot dog eating competition's a few weeks away, so I can't wait to be on that show.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. And down here in Costa Rica, they have no respect for the hot dog. What do you think about that, Dave? No respect for the hot dog down here.
It's embarrassing, man. Come on, we gotta get some good hot dogs down here, bud.
We need them. We need them bad. We need them bad. What a treat. There's Dave Mason from BetOnline joining us. Man, that was very, very cool. And there it is. So let's quickly go over my action on tonight's card and bring in none other than Lucrative Larry to put a bow on this bad boy. Here I am. I'm on the Astros first 5 at plus 137. I'm on the Angels first 5 minus a half at minus 115, and Angels minus 1.5 at plus 105. First 5 over 5.5 minus 119. Then I'm on the Reds first 5 over 5.5 at minus 106. That makes me very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Then Cubs first 5 minus a half minus 105, and the Cubs minus 1 full game. I'm fine with that. I think Chatwood has a nice start here. And then I'm on the Rays first 5 under 4 at minus 118. And the more I talked about it, I guess I'm getting a little uncomfortable with that bet. Giants first 5 plus a half at plus 110. First 5 under 4 minus 110. I like both those. And then I'm on the Mercury first half minus 3.5. That's a tail of King Rail, although I didn't get as nice a number as he did. I'm on the over 145.5. And then I stayed off the Mystics Aces game. Then I'm on the over in this Rough Riders Red Black spot, over 43.5 at minus 105. Not applicable. Says, Jimmy, did you take Ottawa? No. And I think Ottawa is overvalued in this spot. I do not like it. I think that after that performance against Calgary Stampeders team that has huge holes on defense, still got 4 interceptions off Dominique Davis, I think the value's on the Rough Riders, but I'm not going to take that either. Not going to take that either. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I think we're going to have a profitable Thursday night. And there's Mr. Fatfist says, tomorrow, guys, I will be interviewing Jared Flash Gordon on SBR. Yes, Mr. Fatfist, live. Well, it's not going to, we're going to record it. We're not going to record it live at this point because we want to add some graphics and add some different stuff. But Jared Flash Gordon being interviewed by our Mr. Fatfist tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. So, without further ado, thank you guys so much for joining us. And let's put a bow on this bad boy with none other than Lucrative Larry.
My guy.
What up? Stinks in here?
No, but I like the smell.
That's fucked up, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
I don't think this shit's healthy, man. You're spraying Lysol in a room that has no ventilation?
Is it unhealthy?
Yes.
Like AIDS or not that unhealthy?
Yeah, no, it's right on the level of AIDS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How you been, man?
I've been good. How you been?
I've been anxious.
Anxious.
Yeah.
About?
Life.
All right.
And something else.
I'm guessing it's a...
Oh, you got a haircut.
I did.
I like that, man.
Thank you. All right. We need action from you.
I have action tonight.
What is it?
Copa America.
Okay.
Got Uruguay at Japan over 1. First half.
First half.
Of course,
over
first half. And bet 365 at minus 110.
Minus 110 over 1.
Yes.
Over 1. Michael Welsh says, Jimmy, no balls.
Why?
I don't know, but if you were here and your mouth was open, I think they'd make an appearance.
There might be balls there.
I think they'd make an appearance. Thank you for joining
That
us.
was a good one. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Larry. But most importantly, Leche, hey, those bookmakers!